Um, Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Uh, have you ever wondered what happens to a spy when the missions are over and the glamour fades? We're so used to seeing James Bond, you know, at the peak of his physical prowess. But what about Bond later in life? The Bond films have traveled a long path, shifting from the grounded, gritty realism of early entries, like to the increasingly outlandish spectacle of films like the franchise has explored countless scenarios, making it challenging to keep things fresh. Um, while some films have hinted at Bond's retirement, Daniel Craig's final outing offered a definitive end. Uh, uh, However, the idea of an older, seasoned Bond forced out to pasture, but called back for one last mission, always felt like a compelling story. And this super fast because it also doesn't just explore that idea. It delivers a stylish, haunting take on this isn't your typical Bond film, but it's a loving homage and a fascinating deconstruction of the character we think we know. The film follows John B., retired spy living a quiet life in a luxury hotel. A mysterious woman stirs memories of his past, and the film brilliantly cuts between his lonely present and his glamorous, violent history, directed by Ellen Cuttit and Bruno Fursani, known for their visually striking films. It's a unique cinematic experience. While it might seem an unusual fit for Shudder, um, the film's brutal violence and dark tone make perfect sense. Um, it's a far cry from the polished world of 007, but it's a film that understands the inherent darkness beneath the glamour. The title speaks to John's fractured perception of his past, his memories blurring and distorting, seeing a former spy brilliantly portrayed by Fabio Testi, who bears a striking resemblance to Sean Connery, reflecting on his career and questioning its purpose, is genuinely thought-provoking. Yannick Regnier plays the younger John D., impeccably dressed, armed with a Walter PPK and equipped with all the classic spy gadgets. Like Bond, he's driven by duty and fueled by revenge. But this John D is also flawed, impulsive, and often brutal. The film doesn't shy away from uh, the darker elements of Ian Fleming's original novels. Uh, um, John Dee isn't a hero. He's a man shaped by violence, haunted by his actions, and capable of immense cruelty. The film expertly peels back the layers of the suave spy persona. Um, this is uh, playfully deconstructs the Bond myth, revealing the loneliness of the spy lifestyle and the expendability of the agent. Um, the film's villain, Serpentic, can shed her skin and change her appearance, mirroring the constant reinvention of Bond himself. And in a clever meta twist, the younger John Dee is eventually replaced by a younger model, echoing the swift transition from Sean Connery to George Lazenby in the film is full of these subtle nods and playful subversions. It gets meta in ways I won't spoil, but it's a lot of fun for Bond fans. For even at its most trippy, the film is grounded by the present day scenes with old John, who seems both exhilarated and haunted by his years as a deadly operative. I wholeheartedly recommend to any Bond devotee journeyman. It's a unique and compelling film that reignites the desire to see a full-on old man Bond story. And imagine a grizzled, world-weary 007 forced out of retirement for one last mission. Perhaps it wouldn't appeal to teenagers, but after 6 decades, the franchise could benefit from a grittier standalone story. Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan are both still capable of carrying the role. And Brosnan, in particular, looks as suave and distinguished as ever. Brosnan would be the perfect candidate for an older 007 spinoff, and it would give him a stronger ending than the disastrous. With Amazon now in control of the Bond property, the possibilities are endless. While a Brosnan-led spinoff might be a pipe dream, proves it can be done. And let's be honest, after all these years, Bond deserves a little bit of a shakeup. Speaking of shakeups, why did James Bond cross the road to get to the other spy? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,